Good morning, students. Welcome back to biology class, chapter 5, Morphology of Flowering Plants, part 4. When we will discuss about the morphological characters of a plant, we should discuss the root, stem, leaves, flower, fruit, seed, etc. What is a flower? Flower is the reproductive part of the angiosperms present in the plant. A typical flower has 4 different parts. What are they? Calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Now today's class we are going to discuss about the essential parts, that is the androecium, the male reproductive structure, and the gynoecium, female reproductive structure. First we will discuss about the androecium. Androecium is composed of stamens. Each stamen which represents the male reproductive organ. Stamen consists of a stalk or a filament, and at the tip region an anther is present. Each anther is normally it is bilobed. It is divided into 2 partitions and each lobe has 2 chambers. See that one? Anther at the tip region it is present and it contains bilobed, and each lobe contains 2 chambers. Then total it is 4 chambers are present, and that is called the pollen sac. The pollen grains are produced the pollen sac. See, listen. Androecium contains the stamen. Stamen contains the anther. Anther contains the pollen sac. Inside the pollen sac, the pollen grains are present. A sterile stamen is called staminode. Okay. Stamens of flower may be united or it may be free. When stamens are attached to the petals, petals means corolla contains that petals, a colorful part. They are called epipetalous. Stamens are attached to the petals are called epipetalous. Example, brinjal. When the stamens are attached to the perianth, perianth means calyx and corolla. Together it is present, no separate structures. Together structure, that is called the perianth. Example, lily, and that is called epiphyllus. See that one? When the stamens are attached to the perianth, it is called epiphyllus. Example, lily. The stamens in a flower, they are free. Stamens, it is the free, then it is called polyandrous. If they are united, stamens are united, then it is called synandrous. S-Y-N. Synandrous. A-N-D-R-O-U-S. Synandrous means united the androecium. Okay. In that, the stamens may be united into one bunch or one bundle. That is called monoadelphous. See that the stamens are united in a bundle or in a bunch. It is called monoadelphous. Example, China rose, hibiscus plant. Or the stamens are united in 2 bundles. That is called the diadelphous. Example, pea flower. Or more than the 2 bundles, stamens are united, more than 2 bundles, then it is called polyadelphous. Example, citrus. Citrus flower. There may be variation in the length of the filaments within the flower. Example, salvia, mustard, they all have the stamen have the different length in each flowers. Okay. Then we have to go for the next essential part, that is the female part, gynoecium. Gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the flower and is made up of 1 or more carpels or pistils. A carpel or pistil consists of mainly 3 parts. They are namely first stigma at the tip region. Style is the elongated region connected with the stigma, and the ovary is the basal portion. Ovary is the enlarged basal part on which lies the elongated tube that is called the style. The style connects the ovary to the stigma. Stigma is usually at the tip of the style and it is the receptive surface of pollen grains. For the pollination time, pollen grains are reaching to the stigma and it is reaching to the ovary. Each ovary bears one or more ovules attached to a flattened cushion-like structure is called placenta. Where that ovary is attached, that region is called placenta. When more than one carpel or pistil is present, it may be free. Example, lotus and the rose flower, the carpels are free. That is called apocarpus. Okay, apocarpus means carpels are free. Then the syncarpus means carpels are fused. Many carpels are present, more than one carpel is present or pistil is present, they are united, that is called syncarpus. Example, mustard and tomato flower. After fertilization, the ovules develop into seeds and the ovary mature into a fruit. Okay, after fertilization, ovules develop into the seeds and the ovary matures into a fruit. Next heading, placentation. The arrangement of ovules within the ovary is known as placentation. Listen, the arrangement of ovules within the ovary is known as placentation. The placentation are of different types: marginal placentation, axial placentation, parietal placentation, basal placentation, free central placentation. Now we will discuss about one by one. In marginal placentation, first one, marginal placentation, the placenta forms a ridge along the ventral structure of the ovary and the ovules are born on this ridge forming two rows. Example, peas, beans, etc. When the placenta is in the axial region in the center and the ovules are attached in the multilocular ovary. That means the ovary is divided into many chambers and the placentation is said to be axial. Example, China rose, hibiscus plant, tomato, lemon, lady's finger. There is a partitions are there, minimum 4 to 5 partitions are there. The seeds are arranged or the ovules are arranged inside the structure, that is called axial placentation. In parietal placentation, the ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary or the peripheral part. Ovary is one chambered, it becomes two chambered due to the formation of the false septum. Example, mustard and argemone. When the ovules are born on the central axis and septa are absent, that as in the dianthus and the primrose, that is called, that type of the placentation is called free central. In basal placentation, the placenta develops at the base of the ovary and a single ovule is attached to it. Example, sunflower, marigold. Okay, next we will discuss about the fruit. The fruit is the characteristic feature of the flowering plants. Okay, fruit is the characteristic feature of the flowering plants. It is a mature or ripened ovary developed after fertilization, after the fusion of the male gametes, pollen grains, and the female ones at the ovary. The fusion will take place, the ovule is forming. That is called that the fruit. It is the fruit, if the fruit is formed without fertilization of the ovary, it is called parthenocarpic fruit. Without fertilization, ovary is forming is called parthenocarpic fruit. Generally, the fruit consists of fruit wall. Fruit wall, it is called epicarp. Okay, and the seeds. A fruit consists of fruit wall and seeds are present. Fruit wall is called pericarp. It may be dry or fleshy. When pericarp is thick and fleshy, it is differentiated into 3 layers. Just think of a mango. Outer layer is called epicarp. Middle layer it is called mesocarp and the inner endocarp. So a pericarp is divided into outer epicarp, middle mesocarp and the inner endocarp. In mango and coconut, the fruit is known as a drupe, D-R-U-P-E. They develop from a monocarpillary. Mono means single carpel. Monocarpillary superior ovary. What is the meaning of superior ovary? Ovary is present above the position of the other floral buds. Other floral buds, calyx, corolla, and rhizome is present below the ovary. Ovary is above. That is called superior ovary. Hypogynous and are one-seeded. In mango, the pericarp is well differentiated into an outer epicarp, middle mesocarp and inner epicarp. Okay. Then when we will take the coconut, there we can see which mesocarp is fibrous and the outer layer it is very stony and hard. Next we will discuss about the seed. Okay, the seed, ovules after fertilization. See that one, ovary develops into the fruit and ovules after fertilization develop into seeds. A seed is made up of a seed coat and an embryo. The embryo is made up of a radicle and an embryonal axis, and in the wheat and maize or 2 cotyledons as in gram and pea. Now we will discuss about there are 2 types of the seeds are present. That is the monocotyledons and the dicotyledonous. Okay, now we will discuss about the structure of a dicotyledonous seed. The dicotyledonous seed contains the following parts. The outermost covering of a seed is the seed coat. The seed coat has 2 layers. Outer layer is called testa and the inner layer is the tegmen and testa. The hilum is a scar of the seed coat through which the developing seeds were attached to the fruit. So the connected between the fruit and the seed, that is called the hilum. Above the hilum, a small pore is called micropyle, small opening, micropyle. Within the seed coat is the embryo consisting of an embryonic axis and 2 cotyledons. The cotyledons are often fleshy and full of reserve food materials. At the 2 ends of the embryonal axis are present the radicle and the plumule. In some seeds such as castor, the endosperm formed as a result of double fertilization. It is a food storing tissue. In plants such as beans, gram and pea, the endosperm is not present in mature seeds and such seeds are called non-endosperms. See, listen here, the structure of dicotyledons contains the seed coat, the outer layer testa and the tegmen, then the hilum is the channel and before that micropyle region is there. Within the seed coat, embryo is present consisting of embryonic axis and 2 cotyledons are there. Okay, and the 2 ends of that one embryonic axis, radicle is becoming into the roots and plumule is becoming into the shoot system after that. Okay, now next we will discuss about the structure of a monocotyledonous seed. So here it is a monocotyledon means one seed, one cotyledon is present. Generally, monocotyledon seeds are endospermic, but some as in orchids are non-endospermic. In the seeds of cereals such as maize, the seed coat is membranous and generally fused with the fruit wall. The endosperm is bulky and stores food. The outer covering of endosperm separates the embryo by a proteinaceous layer is called aileron layer. The embryo is small and situated in a groove at one end of the endosperm. It consists of one large and shield-shaped cotyledon is known as scutellum and short axis with a plumule and radicle. The plumule and radicle are enclosed in sheath which are called coleoptile and coelorhiza. Okay, plumule is known as the coleoptile, that is becoming into the shoot system, and the radicle is known as the coelorhiza, that is becoming into the root system. Okay, this is the structure of the monocotyledonous seed. It contains the more part, it is the endosperm is present, that is the food reserving. Okay, one seed, and it is connected with the layer, it is called the proteinaceous protein layer is called the aileron layer, and below that only the radicle and plumule is arranged, that is becoming into the plumule is coleoptile and radicle is becoming into the coelorhiza. Coleoptile is becoming into the shoot and coelorhiza is becoming into the root. Thank you.